This is Derek Sites. This HTML tutorial shows how to create an image map using Microsoft PowerPoint. Here's the home page of our example. This satellite view of the United States has orange hotspots, making it an image map in combination with the HTML code that underlies it. The circles are cities. There's a pop-up text giving the name of the city: Detroit, New York City, Washington, D.C., Atlanta. There's 2 states, Texas and Colorado. If we click on Detroit, it takes us to a page for Detroit. Go back here. Each city goes to a page for that city. We're not going to discuss those pages. We're just going to look at the home page with the image map. The states, likewise, when you put the mouse over it, it will change from an arrow to a hand, indicating that you're over the hotspot, and the pop-up will pop up, and clicking takes you to that page. Let's now go and see how we create this in PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, on the opening slide, first I'm going to delete the title and subtitle areas there, a blank slide. We're going to insert a picture and go to where that's saved. The original image here expands, as you can see, to fill the whole width of the slide. To insert a circle, we go to Insert, Shapes, and under Basic Shapes you use an oval. Click it. To make it a circle, you'll hold down the Shift key as you drag, and that makes it a circle. Right-clicking on the shape, Format Shape, under Fill, choose No Fill, and under Line Color, choose Orange, and clicking off of it, we have a circle there. We want to reposition it. We'll click it, use the arrow keys to move it where we want it. Let's zoom using the zoom down here. Then we get a better view of what we're doing. The arrow keys move it like that. Hit it using control arrow keys moves it much smaller distance. But first we want to get it a specific size. So we're going to right click on it, first we got to highlight the circle, right click, Format Shape. This time under Size, right now it's 42 hundredths of an inch. We're going to change that to be, this will be the height. First lock the aspect ratio so the width and the height are the same, making it a circle. The height, which will be the diameter, we're going to set it 50 px for pixels, and click Close. When we go back in and look at it, under Size, it will have changed it to 0.52 inches, actually 50 pixels size of the circle. And the circle looks, maybe we'll move it up just a little bit here, like so, and go back to our regular view, Fit to Window. We have our first hotspot in our image. To get the states, you can see it's not going to be this simple. There has to be some other way to draw those states because there's no outlines of the states here. Here's what we're going to do. We'll create a new slide, just a blank slide, and insert into it a picture that is about the same size but has states outlined in it. Then we'll expand it to fill up, and you can see they're approximately the same size here. We'll go ahead and save this. PowerPoint. Save it in the same location as those temporary images were. We'll call it image map PowerPoint. We're going to do Colorado. Zooming it, we have Colorado there. If we wanted to make a rectangle, that really wouldn't quite work, because in the image map, in the code, in the HTML, a rectangle, you give it the upper left point and the lower right, but it assumes your rectangle is perfectly horizontally and vertically oriented, and you can see Colorado is slightly slanted. So we'll have to create a polygon shape and use a polygon shape in the image map because of that. We're using Colorado here because it's simple. Texas will be the same technique, but many more lines to create the polygon. We're not going to show that, just show Colorado. To do it, we insert shape, and under lines off to the right here is a freeform. Click that. Click the upper left corner here, and then click each corner in turn. I could zoom it and get it much better, and then you click at the end, and now we have our Colorado polygon shape. Right click on it, format shape, no fill, line color orange. There's our shape. We take it now and copy it to the clipboard, Control C, go up to this slide here, which we'll put back in the regular zoom, Control V, and there we have a pretty good Colorado. If we didn't like where it was at, we could move it a little bit, but that's good enough for our purposes. Save it again. Get rid of this thing here. Okay. So you get the idea. You can add your circles, other polygons, and I use this technique here of taking something similar, outlining it, copying it, and moving it to the one I want. Next, we need an image, because this is a PowerPoint. In order to get the image, we go to File, Save As, and click JPEG. That's a convenient Save As option. We're going to call it the image map JPEG. Hit Save, and it will ask us if we want to do every slide or just the current slide. We only want to do the current slide. So, current slide. And we now have our image saved as an image. We'll go ahead and close down PowerPoint, and then what we'll have to do next is look at the image in an image editor such as Microsoft Paint or some other one like paint.net. We'll try it in Microsoft Paint. That's where we'll go next. Here the image map, which of course would have all the other hotspots on it, is open in Microsoft Paint, And notice that PowerPoint saved the whole slide as an image. So this white area at the top and this white area at the bottom, which were not filled by the image on the slide, are also now part of the image. If we want to keep that, we can, but we're going to get rid of it. To get rid of it, we need to crop it. In order to do that, first I'm going to zoom down to a smaller size and use a rectangular selection here. Select my image like so and hit crop, and then going to save the image. Close it down, and if I go back to the image map JPEG and again open it with Paint, now I have an image without the white margin area. It's just the image that I can use for my image map. Next we're going to go to the HTML code behind this, and of course we'll not continue showing how to do the other hotspots. We'll use the image that really has all those on it if we want to look at it again. Here we are looking at our home page that has the image map code in it. We have a title, USA Places home page. It's an H2, it's centered. Then our image. This is the real one with all the hotspots, sourced of where it's at. Its style will be display block, margin left auto, margin right auto. That will center it. And here's a key attribute. Use map has to have a value which is the name of a map tag, which we have below here, and it has to be prefixed with a # character. That's what ties this image to the map. The map down below here is a binary tag, and inside it are area tags. Each area tag is a unary tag with the attributes that define the shape. Of course, again, the map has a name attribute called image map, and that's what ties it to the image. The shapes that we have in our image map, we have circles for the cities and 2 polygons, which is a shape type of poly, for the 2 states. For Atlanta, for example, here we have the coordinates of the center of the circle, the X and Y coordinates of the center, and the radius, which is, since we're using 50 pixel diameter circles, 25 is the radius. To determine the coordinates of where these hotspots are, we'll show that and then we'll come back to the code. Here we are looking at the real image map in Paint. You can use whatever image editor you want. It has this feature, but they all have this. As I move the mouse around, if you notice down here in the lower left, right below where the mouse is right now, it gives the coordinates of the mouse. For Atlanta, I could zoom it to find out more accurately where the center is. If I move the mouse like so, just a rough estimate right now, around 703 and 398. Let's hop over to our code again. Remember that 703, 398. And if you look at Atlanta, it has 703, 397. That was the first time that we did it, but doing it again, pretty close. You find the center of the circle and put the radius in. For the polygons, you do the same technique. You find the coordinates of each vertex of the polygon. So you work your way around the polygon, and in the coordinates attribute of the shape, you put each coordinate as a point, And our first coordinate for Colorado is 278, 220. At the very end, we have to end it with the same coordinates, 278, 220. That's how you do the polygons in the image map. Another important point, and there's a comment here that says that, for Internet Explorer, the coordinates must all be on the same line in your code. If you try to line them up, maybe you have some really long ones, like look here for Texas, there's a lot of coordinates there to get all those different shapes on Texas. So it's important that you don't try to put them on multiple rows so you can see them all. You're going to have to horizontal scroll, because if you try to do that, that will not work in IE. So there's the image map. And also an important attribute with each area is the title. The title is the text that will pop up when you put the mouse over that hotspot. Okay, we'll go back one more time to the actual home page itself running. Here we have the home page. We click Texas, we go to Texas, Washington, we go to Washington. In another tutorial, we'll be looking at the pages behind this to talk about HTML links and how pages are linked together. This concludes this tutorial of how to make an image map using Microsoft PowerPoint and an image editor.